Word. Oh, come on. Let's get the key right. Where do I begin? Pong, 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 pong. Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio. How's this thing looking? How's it looking? Is everything level? How's my levels? How are my levels? Okay, let's go. Is it too dark? Is it too light? What's going on? The clocks went back or was it forward? The clocks changed, was it a couple of weeks back? And the nights are coming in much earlier. It's proper dark around here. Session is dark. Okay, it's been a few weeks, maybe a month, that I've left you without a dope live to listen to. My bad. The Leon Figures is up in the building, but there's lots to talk. What's happening, Leon? Hope all is good around your neck of the woods. Okay, so what we saying? What we saying? What we saying? What we saying? Yeah, lots of stuff have been going down. I've been seeing it. I've been watching it. Well, I've been hearing about it. I haven't really been delving too deep into shiznix. You know what I'm saying? I see the headlines though. I see the headlines and I see the topics, and there's quite a few things that we need to call the congregation together for. You know what I mean? That's why I made a notification of this thing about an hour and a half ago. You know, Raphie was still in the gym, the gymnasium, um, when the due time came. But you know, I had to get them. I had to get them pumps in. I had to get the pump on. Um, you know, you gotta think about the the physicality as well as the mentality. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep yourself alive. You gotta keep yourself alive. Um, you gotta keep pumping. You gotta keep get your steps in, etc., etc., etc. An old family friend who's like an uncle to me passed away a couple of days ago. Sorry, I want to cough. Excuse me. Passed away a couple of days ago, but you know, I'm not mourning. I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating his life. He lived to a good age of 87. And I think that's a respectable age. 87, yeah, I could live with that. 87. Um, well, I was in the gym, but you know, there are a few honeys in the gym. I cannot lie. I cannot lie. As a rather attractive lady who's she's got Raphie on her mind. You can tell she got Raphie on her mind. Yeah, 87, man. So I'm not mourning. I'm celebrating. He lived a good life, and with me from a health perspective, he was a bit of a paradox because I think, well, what kept him going so long nutritionally? Well, I think, well, he didn't really deal with processed foods. He ate big. He was um, in his earlier years, because I've known him pretty much all my damn life, as long as I've known myself. In his early years, he was a muscular fella, muscular man, young man. Um, he worked, he earned money going over working sugarcane plantations over in America. Left, from Jamaica, flew over to America, I think Florida. And that was a thing back in the day. You could make some good money on the sugarcane plantations. You just take a short hot flight from Jamaica to America and earn some money chopping sugarcane. Although I hear that that's backbreaking work. It's grueling stuff. But they built men different back then. You know what I mean? They were more built for hard work. It would appear. Um, Earned some money, went back to Jamaica. British government were calling out for workers to come and immigrate from the Commonwealth, to come and immigrate to or migrate to England. The land of milk and honey, gold on the pavements. And so, many came in the Windrush generation and after. What was the thanks? What thanks did they get? Well, many of the Windrush generation, they had their passports revoked 50, 60 years after being here. And it's kind of interesting because I saw this picture. It's Remembrance Day in England right about now. Remembrance Day, where people wear red poppies. Yeah, a red poppy. And there's a picture of a football team, soccer to you in America. And there's one guy from Northern Ireland, and he's standing apart from the rest of his teammates in Wales. He's standing apart, and there's a gap because he's not celebrating Poppy Day. Poppy Day or Remembrance Day is when people of the country, citizens, salute the soldiers, the British soldiers who died to what they say to keep England a free country. That's the rhetoric. But if I did wear a poppy on Poppy Day, it would be a black poppy. Poppies are normally red. If I wore one, it would be a black poppy. And because the black poppy signifies all the soldiers of color for all the different parts of the world, the Caribbean, I don't know if it's maybe some Africa, India, the Indian subcontinent, who don't get recognized on Remembrance Day. So if I did wear a poppy on Remembrance Day, it would be a black one, in remembrance of the soldiers of color who gave their lives and their service, who don't get remembered on Remembrance Day. But anyway, these people came over. The Windrush generation came over to the UK, and many of them ended up being sent home after being here 60 years, saying they were illegals. In the meantime, you got both people coming in. So, make sense. But anyway, I was thinking about this man's diet, Hopi, R.I.P. Hopi, Hopi. And he didn't eat processed foods. He was a muscular young man who, after years and years and years, kind of started to turn to more fat as the years went by. Didn't seem to moderate his diet to account for the slowing down of the metabolism, but he worked his whole life on the railways. So he was a physical guy. And he made it to 87. I'd say the last 30 years, the last 30 years from 57 to 87, I'd say he was quite a portly fella, fat man. But his spirits were always high. He always ate good. He always ate big, rather. And you think, well, how come a guy who ate big like that? He wasn't terribly flabby or anything. I mean, he's a fat man, yes. But he was out there in the garden, in his garden, tending his garden, his little stool, kind of back-breaking work. He was very active still. And I thought to myself, well, how come this guy had such a long life? What is it? Because, the magazines, the books would tell you, well, hold on. Because he smoked for a lot of the time. He didn't smoke in the end, but he was a smoker for the majority of his adult life. He was a smoker. He got bigger, chunkier, plumper, as the years went by. But he lived so long. And I think he tried to square the circle. I think that he perhaps didn't really go into the junk food as such. So he ate big at the dinner table, but it was good foods, primarily, your chicken or some kind of meat. So some kind of meat, and then, your yams, your sweet potatoes, your rice. And so he had a good diet. although I would have to say he ate too much. Um, it was a good diet. He had lots of fruit, but then you look at fruit, and I mean, lots of fruit is lots of carbs. So I could be critical of his diet, but I mean that thing kept him going till he was 87. So how critical do you really want to be? You know what I mean? How critical can you be about a man who lived an active life, um, but was fat in his last, say, 30 years, died at 87. Um, but, you know, you see people dropping down at half his age, um, at half his body fat, you know? The only thing I can key in on is that he didn't really, even though he was fat, he didn't really eat sweets and junk food. Um, I think he got fat off the carbs from good foods and fruits. You know what I mean? So that's my takeaway um, from it all in terms of diet. Uh, Beware of the processed stuff. Beware of the processed stuff. You can carry a few, you can pack a few extra pounds, but beware of the processed stuff. Okay, right. So rest in peace, Opie. You had a great life. You lived till 87. Something that many of us can only hope to do. Um, the processed sugar. Sugar is a big killer. Sugar's a big killer. It's known. A lot of cancers, a lot of negative shizzle, rely on in the body, rely on sugar to breed. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he was big on sugar. I don't think he was big on sugar. He wasn't a big sugar man. So yeah, sugar is, they call that the white death. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, in the contest phase after diet, and he called sugar the white death. So definitely, sugar is most definitely need to be avoided. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so RIP, and yeah, rest in paradise. You had a damn good life. You had what, 3 or 4 kids. All turned out well. All did well for themselves. And yes, you did your job well. It's now time for you to rest. Okay. So, what are we talking? Where are we going to start with this boxing talk? Um, Turkey Al Sheikh is doing big things in the boxing industry. He's just bought the Ring magazine. I don't have a list stuff in my head, so I hope I don't forget any of the topics on my mind. Turkey Al Sheikh has just bought the Ring magazine. Ring magazine has been in existence for how many years now? What, in excess of 100? Or approaching 100? Yeah, something like that. Of course, it was acquired by Oscar de la Hoya, of Golden Boy Promotions. And, you know, we tend not to like it when institutions like the Ring magazine, who have traditionally been thought of as independent, get publication like that gets gobbled up by one of the major promoters. We don't like it. We like to see these things stay independent. But hey, um, we like to think that maybe they can maintain some type of journalistic integrity. We hope so. We like to think so. Nonetheless, Turkey Al Sheikh has gobbled it up. He snapped it up. We hope it can remain or keep some of its non-partiality. Hopefully, but you know, it is something to be noted. You know, something you have to note. Um, and what are we saying about that? Well, we have to keep an eye on it. To be fair to Turkey Al Sheikh, he has seemed fairly impartial. He has been the man making the big fights happen. All excuses now appear to be set asunder, with Turkey Al Sheikh coming with that Saudi money, the that he provides and these backers provide. All the quibbles now seem to be set asunder, and Turkey Al Sheikh seems to be the guy who's making things happen. You know, Turkey Al Sheikh shaking things up. Okay, and we're moving swiftly through the list, even though I got no list. The list is in my head. And what are we talking about next? What's in the description? What hashtags are in the description? Okay. Daniel Dubois versus Anthony Joshua, the rematch. It doesn't seem to be happening. There's some talk about maybe Joshua's injured. Is he injured? Is he not? Let's talk about his injury. But you know what? I think that it's just a bad idea. It's just a bad idea for Anthony Joshua to be fighting Daniel Dubois right about now. In the warm up, in an interview where they were both face to face interview, may have been called face to face or face off or whatever. Daniel Dubois asked Joshua, "Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?" And I thought, wow, that's kind of bold. That's kind of bold. But when they got in the ring, we saw who Daniel Dubois thought he was. And Daniel Dubois is who he thought he was. And but when he gave legitimacy to Daniel Dubois' question, "Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?" He certainly gave legitimacy to that question, and it was clear that Anthony Joshua was not somebody that Daniel Dubois was excessively concerned about. He knew that Daniel knew that he could get his head taken off, but also Daniel knew that with his high output, Daniel's high output, with Daniel's run of form, with Daniel's continual fights, back to back to back to back in the last 12 months or so, 18 months or so, Daniel also knew that he was in very good form, and mentally he was in a good or the right place, the right space. His quitter reputation for taking the knee against Joe Joyce, his quitter reputation had been somewhat erased by his performances against, who did he perform against? His last fight pre-Joshua was against Jarrell Miller. Oh, then of course previous to that he had the fight with Filip Hrgovic, and it looks like he made Filip Hrgovic quit. You know what I mean? So the alleged quitter made Filip Hrgovic quit. I remember you said he meant it. I didn't think he was about that life. Yeah. I said that Daniel Dubois seemed to me that Daniel Dubois genuinely meant it when he said, "Who do you think you are?" I was like taken aback. Well, it's Joshua, surely. He's the guy who used to spank you in training. No, is he not? But are those? Well, it definitely put a question mark to the thought, the perception that Joshua had the whip hand over Dubois in training. He may have edged him most of the time, but the way Daniel Dubois was talking to me, Daniel didn't look like a man that was in any way cowed, that was in any way cowering from, my God, woman almost tripped. I was watching in my rear view mirror while she was carrying some milkshakes or some beverages. Yeah, and I looked at him, I thought, dang, I don't think Daniel Dubois is that good an actor. I think he actually means it. I don't think Daniel Dubois is an actor. I think he actually means it. Means what he's saying. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? in that kind of church boy accent. Yeah. So do I think that, hey, sorry about this, but I'm going to have to reach my almond nuts. When I came here, we are live from McDonald's, and I just finished training. Cut it a little bit short, but I've got a couple of days off now, annual leave. I saved up my annual leave, and I'm using most of them up in between now and Christmas. Couple days off per week. What's this I feel in my bag here? Couple days off per week, and so I got Monday off and Tuesday off. So I can I'll be training on Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, so I cut this one short, a little bit short, to get on live, to fulfill my promise, even though it started later than advertised. But I gotta eat some of these almond nuts. A little bit peckish now. Give me a moment, please. Thank you. Okay, so I said, oh, the link's there. Is the link not there? Anybody wants to jump on? I do believe, yep, the link is there. So anyway, Joshua versus Dubois? No. I'm not saying Joshua could never beat Dubois, but I'm saying that Dubois is in a rich frame. Raphie did something naughty. A nice lady walking past on the other side of the road. I just thought, if I flash my lights 2 times on main beats, will she look around? And yes, she did. Experiment, proof positive. I'm seeing a shadow. Who's this? Candyman? Candyman around? Yeah. I don't see no big shadows being cast. So I think that the vein of form that Daniel Dubois is in, the way he's been mentally prepared not to fold under intense pressure, the way he just gets in there and scraps. Because, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's not about getting in there and meditating and always having the perfect game plan. It's about getting in there and having a scrap. And Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois right now is simply getting in there and scrapping, which I must say is rather refreshing. He's not overthinking it. He's not overcomplicating it. He's just getting in there and scrapping, mate. And as a boxing fan, many of you know that I have been a supporter and a proponent of Daniel Dubois for some time. Even when he took the knee and many people wrote him off and called him a quitter, I said no. I'd have done the same damn thing. Save your orbital bone. Save your orbital bone at all costs, and heal up and live to fight again. Now, excuse me, I'm eating my almond nuts. Now, if Anthony Joshua gets back in there, I expect Daniel Dubois to twist him up just like he did the first time. Anthony Joshua, he just wasn't ready for the heat and the immediate heat that Daniel Dubois brought. Daniel Dubois, there was no feeling out. You just hear the ding-a-ling-a-ling, and Daniel Dubois just walked forward and unleashed. And kept on unleashing. A lot of people in the chat now. Put your names in the chat. Say something. Say hello. Where are you? Who are you? Where you from? Say hello. Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois just unleashed. Excuse me while I eat my almond nuts. Just unleashed on the fella. And Anthony Joshua was all at sea. Wasn't ready. Wasn't ready. I don't think he'll be ready next time either. Daniel Dubois fought like a man without burden. A man without weight on his shoulders. Well, he's got some burly shoulders. Anthony Joshua thought he could go in there and feel out. What? Daniel Dubois was feel this mofo. Feel this. Feel this left. Feel this right. How that feel? Huh? How that taste? How that taste? And no. Joshua was just shipping punishment. And I think if they fight again, the same thing gonna happen again. You know what I mean? So I don't think that Anthony Joshua really needs Daniel Dubois in his life right now. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Dubois is just too much, man. Just too much. Just too much. And I'm happy and I'm proud that Daniel Dubois he's doing what he's doing right now. He's just getting in there and scrapping, mate. Getting in there and scrapping. Okay, that's what we're saying. Now, Anthony Joshua, remember, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Not a long time, folks. You know what I'm saying? If you got to get home and get a nice home-cooked meal. You know what I'm saying? With the Caribbean herbs and spices and flavors. Just chewing on my nuts right about now. So, now Lennox Lewis has come out and said that Anthony Joshua needs me. Well, I think it's gone past that, my friend. That boat has sailed. You know what I'm saying? That boat has sailed. Did Anthony Joshua need you? Yes, I do believe he did. Would you have made a difference had you been in Anthony Joshua's career? Absolutely believe so. He had people who helped him, but not the way you could have helped him. Not the way you could have helped him. He didn't have no professors in his camp. He had good people who took him as far as they could take him, but he needed a guru. Anthony Joshua, the way Anthony Joshua's mentality is, he needed a guru. He needed a sensei. He needed a guide. You know, someone to guide him mentally, almost like a counselor. You know what I'm saying, as well as a trainer. And he didn't really have that guide. He didn't have that guide. He had coaches, he had trainers, but not that guiding star who'd been there and done it. You know what I mean? So Joshua messed up in that regard. I think it's too late now. It's too late now. It's too late. What's that tune? It's too late, baby. Now it's too late. It's too late now. Joshua picked his course, and there's too much bad blood now. Lennox has said too much. Joshua said too much in return. I don't know, but can you ever say never? Can you ever really say never? I don't know. Maybe it's never say never. Maybe it's that Bond film, Never Say Never Again. You know, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what's up. I think it might be too late now. Too much has been said, perhaps. Although I'm open to be surprised. And I think that has Joshua taken too much mental damage? I'm not talking about blows to the head. I'm talking about damage mentally, in terms of his own perception. I don't think so. People come back. Joshua I think he's not a quitter. He could be the comeback kid. But was he really prepared for this fight, coming out thinking he could just warm into the fight? Remember Michael Dokes? Michael Dokes was a boxer back in the, was it the 80s or 90s? He'd often start out slow. Mike Weaver was another one who could do that sometimes. Start out slow, thinking, yo, this is a damn fight. This is a damn fight. Somebody's out there trying to split your wig. And you think you're gonna come in and just have a little feel out process first of all? Nah, brother. Nah, brother. We're just talking about fighting. We're talking about fighting. You better come out, get them dukes up, and get ready to get with the get with. Get with the get down. You know what I mean? Get with the get down. Get down. So that bridge, the horse may have, that bridge may already be burnt. You know what I mean? That bridge may already be burnt. Okay, so what we talking about? That's what we're saying now. Joseph Parker needs a fight. We're gonna talk about Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker's looking for a fight. And let's talk. Who's the talk? Well, there was talk about the Zilly Bang Zang rematch. What happened to that? Joseph Parker's looking for a fight. Zilly Zhang put him on his ass 2 times. It's supposed to be a rematch. What happened with the rematch? We haven't seen no rematch. So why not give Joseph Parker his rematch with Zilly Zhang Bang? I know why. It's because our Turkey ain't really too fussed about rematches. Yeah, that's not really, and I don't blame him. I'm not too big on rematches. Certainly not immediate rematches after the passage of time, and certainly, but not immediate rematches. So what's out there for Joseph Parker? Who should Joseph Parker be fighting? And then there's what's his name? The lineal heavyweight sparring champion. Bakole. Martin Bakole. Let's talk about Bakole versus Zilly Zhang Bang. Would I watch that? Sure, I'd watch that. Bakole versus Zilly Zhang Bang. Yeah, I would watch that. What are we saying here? What are we saying here? Al Turkey wants knockouts. Funds Parker's boring, basically. Yeah, well, he is. That is true. That is true. Remember back in the day when you had Steve Davis, a very high-level snooker player. His nickname was Steve. He needed a nickname for the sort of satirical show called Spitting Image. Came up with a nickname for Steve Davis. He was a boring on the table and off the table of snooker, and they came up with the nickname Steve Interesting Davis. Turkey wants knockouts. Finds Parker boring. Yeah, finds. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I came up with the nickname for Steve Davis as Steve Interesting Davis. Yeah, Parker is boring. Can't deny that. He's good overall. Knows the punches. You know, he's got first gear, second gear, third gear. But yeah, effectively, you'd have to say Parker is boring. And that's why, perhaps, he's not being pushed. He's been on the sidelines, after good wins over Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, and Zilly Zhang. He outlasted Zilly Zhang. What next for Parker? Who the hell do you give him? Who the hell do you give Parker? I'm not even sure I want to see him against Martin Bakole, because he could just outlast him. He's got a little bit slick with the feet these days. You know, he could just slip some punches. Could slip quite a few punches. and outlast Bacoli, potentially, possibly. Or Bacoli could just knock him the F out. I don't object to seeing Parker versus Bacoli, but I want to see Bacoli kind of on his own trajectory right now. I tell you what would be a good fight, an interesting fight. Parker versus Wardley. Fabio Wardley. Call me crazy, but that could be a very, very interesting fight. Fabio versus Parker versus Fabio Wardley. I'm going to write it in there. No, I'm not going to write it. Hold on, I'm not going to write it in there. But Fabio Parker versus Fabio Wardley. Why not? What do you guys say? What else is there? Who do I want to see? Who do I want to see Bacoli against? Yeah, I want to see Bacoli against. I'll watch Bacoli against Zilly Zhang Bang. Sure, why not? I'd watch that fight. What else are we saying? Zilly Zhang Bang versus Bacoli. What else are we saying? What's the other topic that I have? Yeah, apparently, Wilder is not retiring. What's he sticking around for? What's he sticking around for? But, Bacoli versus Wilder. All right then. Bacoli versus Zango, Bacoli versus Wilder. How about that then? How about that? Joshua sitting out for a while until he gets, well, makes certain decisions. Parker looking for a dance partner. Oh, we haven't talked about Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. What's this here? Need Bacoli in a real fight now. Undisputed sparring king means nothing. Lineal undisputed champion sparrer. Ain't gonna cut it no more. Leon Figure says he needs to see Bacoli in a real fight. Well, I would say this fight against Tony Yoka was real. He spanked Yoka. I would say his fight against Carlos Takam was real. Took care of him. And I would say his destruction of the real big baby Jared Anderson, that was real too. What are we saying? Are we saying we want to see him against the other big baby to find out who the real big baby is? Martin Bacoli versus, hey, there you have it. There you have it. Let's go. Martin Bacoli against the other big baby to find out who the real big baby is. There you have it. Or Joseph Parker against the real big baby. Because the real big baby or the other big baby did beat Andres the Punch Ruiz. Let's get it right. So yeah, there's some options there. Okay. Now, Excuse me while I chew my nuts. Almond nuts, to be precise. Now, who wins? Who wins? Out of Usyk versus what's going on over there? Usyk versus Fury, Tyson Fury. When is that fight? Um, that's looking like who's gonna win that? So, yeah. Wasn't Yolanda? you mean Yoka? Coming off a loss. Who beat Yoka before that? Can't remember. Takam is a journeyman and Big Baby is a prospect. Let's him up Parker. Zhang, the boy top 5 now. The boy's top 5 now to see if he's a real deal. Yoka. Yeah, Yoka. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm happy with Big Baby. I'm happy with Big Baby. I'm happy with Macaulay facing Big Baby. The other Big Baby. I'm happy with Macaulay. Macaulay's another guy, I believe me. I'm happy with Macaulay facing Big Zilly Zhang Bang. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm happy with them matchups. Is you ready for Parker? I would imagine so. But I think the more exciting fight would be Bang. Because Bang will be looking to take out Macaulay. And I think even Big Baby Miller will be looking to take out Macaulay. Parker, less so. You know what I mean? Parker more of a safety fighter. So yeah. Let's see how good Macaulay is. Okay. So let's talk about Usyk Fury. Now, those of whom watch the fight live, watch my fight commentary live, will know that I don't touch up the points. I don't touch up the scores until the end of the fight. So I don't know who's winning on my scorecard. And what the hell? So I don't know who's winning on my scorecard until the end of the fight. Now, when it came to totting up, I had Tyson Fury 1 round ahead. That's right, you heard it. I had Tyson Fury 1 round ahead. So for those who say, well, what can Fury do? What can he do? I had Fury 1 round ahead. Fury was taking it to Usyk. Let's not get it twisted. Check the ballistics. Fury was taking it to Usyk's body and handling him wickedly. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'd like to see that rematch. That'd be a great rematch. I'd love that. I'd love to see Hunter versus Macaulay. Love it. I'd love it, mate. Love it. But yeah, Fury was taking it to the body of Usyk, just killing him to the body, killing him. And I'll be happy to see that fight again. I think it's a very close fight. I think both camps know they have to make adjustments. There's a suggestion, I don't know if it's true or not, that Fury wasn't really sparring for that fight. I don't believe that's entirely true, but it could have been sparring could have been limited to avoid cutting the eye open again. So I think that Fury has room to improve in that fight. Does Usyk have room to improve? Well, Usyk's gonna have to put it on him on Fury, uh, perhaps even earlier, maybe harder, or maybe just pace the fight like he paced it the first time around. But either way, can I see Fury beating Usyk? That's a big question. That's the question I'm being asked in the DMs. And my answer is yes, I can. Who's the favorite in my view? The favorite is Usyk. Who's the underdog? Fury. And that's where I'll be putting my money. I'll be putting a few bob on Tyson Fury because I think he can win this fight. He can make adjustments. He won the first fight on my scorecard. Let's not get it twisted. Check the ballistics. And I think that he can do it again. Oh my God. What's happening with this damn thing? It's cut out again. Is it cut out? Oh, okay. We're good. I think Fury wins split in the rematch. And hey, I don't think many people will be complaining about that. Because if that happens, then of course they've got the third fight. They've got the third fight. Dang! Every time I touch this thing, I lose the thing. There it is again. So yeah, Fury one apiece. One apiece. It is very likely. You know, I'll be putting. I think Usyk's the favorite. Fury the underdog. You know, I put my money on the underdog. So that's something that we have to look out for. I think the Fury can win this fight. I think he won the last fight by a round. So hey, what do you say? I hope there's nothing that I forgot in the description box to talk about. Leon Figures join me throughout this thing. Has there been anybody else commenting? Let's have a look. No, it's just been me and Leon Figures. Okay. So those who catch it on the replay or catch it later, I guess some people are eating their Sunday dinner now, and that's exactly what me and Leon should be doing. Leon's going to be eating some fare cooked by his good lady wife, no question about it. And the Raphie is going home now to catch a good home cooked Caribbean meal. Let's have a look. I think if Fury wins, he fights Josh, hey, that would be great. That would be great. Round off Joshua's career. Round it off. Maybe one last chance at glory for Anthony Joshua. Okay. So there you have it. Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio alongside the Leon Figures. Here on Sunday, I believe it's the 10th of November, 2024. And gotta say, shout out to Hopi. He lived to a ripe old age of 87. And yes. All right. R.I.P. to him. Rest in paradise, Hopi. And have an enjoyable week. To everybody out there in Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio Land, have your say. Shout out to the Leon Figures. Like, subscribe, comment, share. It looks like the feds are coming for me. Got to get out of Dodge. Peace.